It's a time for reflection and pride in American gymnastics. The U.S. women who won the Olympic team gold medal in Atlanta are present. But except for one, they are here not to compete, but to inspire a new wave of gymnasts. Only 6 women can make the U.S. world team. For each, years of training will be tested like never before. Their time is now, and the torch of excellence passes tonight.
Welcome, everyone, to Denver, Colorado. The sunshine on a crystal clear day giving way to early evening. Inside McNichols Arena, that's where we're at. Doug Dunbar along with Maura Driscoll. The 1997 U.S. Gymnastics Championships. Last time it was here, 1990. But we return, and in round 1, you'll count 50% of the all-around score. Individual event champions will be determined here in this round. Then we'll move to round 2, where another 50% is added for the all-around score. The top 6 age eligible will make the World Championship team. More on that to come. A look back in round 1 action. Our individual event champions, Vanessa Atler, first of all, on the vault.
After being the 1996 Junior National All-Around Champion, she's in a good position to do well tonight. A front handspring, front layout. That vault is so difficult to perform, and to perform well, the gymnasts are required to do 2 different vaults, but they can be from the same vault family, and I'll explain what that means. But let's take a look at this. Front handspring, front layout, a completely stretched position, so you have to really have proper execution to rotate that skill, and it's tough to land. She had a little difficulty on the landing, but not a big deal. Now that's a good score for her. The vault is only valued at a 9.8, so that is the maximum score she could achieve. And her second vault, our Yurchenko style, beautiful vault, a 9.9. That was a double twisting Yurchenko. Now, Amy Chow, who was on the Olympic team in '96, performed that vault. It was worth a 10.0 then. It has been reduced to a 9.9. Vanessa Atler, you're looking at your 1997 vault national champion.
The way it'll go down in the record books in round 1, Vanessa Atler with 9.512, Maloney second, Antolin and Mohini Bahardwa tied for third in that critical first round that counts for 50% of the overall score. Now in round 1, Kristy Powell on the bars.
Kristy has actually been around the gymnastics scene in the U.S. for a while. She was a hopeful for the '96 Olympics. She had some injury setbacks. And also the first tier of athletes was so outstanding in '96 with, of course, Shannon Miller, Dominique Dawes, and Carrie Strug. She moves very well in this event. You notice her swing. Nice execution and toe point. Here comes a release skill, nice and high, into an immediate, another release skill. That was a Tkachev into a Ginger. This is a great routine. And she finishes with a full twisting double back to a perfect landing. Nice job for Kristy.
Terrific round 1 performances inside McNichols Arena here in Denver.
And Kristy is training under a new coach this year. She's with Mary Lee Tracy, who you might recognize from Atlanta. Mary Lee Tracy was the assistant U.S. Olympic coach, and she trained Amanda Borden and J.C. Phelps. This is her first release skill. Look at her height. You can see how high her hips are away from the bar. That's what the judges want to see. Nice height, a little knee bend, not that big of a deal at all, into 2 immediate back-to-back release skills.
On the uneven bars, 9.550 for Kristy Powell.
Doug, the biggest change since the 1996 Olympics, a new set of rules that these athletes are trying to get used to, making it more and more difficult to earn that perfect 10.
Powell wins it in round 1 in the uneven bars. Mary Beth Arnold second, Vanessa Atler and Jamie Dancher tied for third. When we come back, more from round 1 here in Denver. Welcome you back inside McNichols Arena, Denver, Colorado. Doug Dunbar and Maura Driscoll and Kendall Beck on the beam. This is round 1 action where we determine our individual event champions, and Kendall coming back from a knee injury. This only her second competition.
And a big mount here, a layout onto the beam right on. Kendall trains at the Cypress Academy in Texas, which is a very hot club with several promising juniors and seniors in this competition. Big skill, back handspring, full twisting back somersault. Excellent.
having only one competition under her belt in '97 coming here into Denver. Confidence falling on the side of having time off, or maybe a little rusty coming into play?
Well, I think she's ready for this competition, and she actually has full difficulty on this event. What that means is her routine is actually valued at a perfect 10.0, so if she performs it perfectly, she could optimally score a 10. The balance beam is a very nerve-wracking event as it is, and for a big competition like this, the championships, the national championships, it's even more stressful.
1997 at the U.S. Classic, she was third in the all-around. That same tournament in '94 took a second on the beam.
And here she sets up for her dismount, 2 back handsprings to a double tuck, a really solid performance for her.
Solid enough in round 1 to garner a championship when it comes to the individual events.
Take a look at this skill. It's a wolf jump into an immediate full twisting back handspring swing down. Now you can imagine the control that is required for that skill, because there's no room for error with just 4 inches of balance beam.
9.425 on the balance beam for Kendall Beck. She, in round 1, our event champion on the beam. Reagan Tomasek, a respectable second. Katie Dyson, third. Bowles and Maloney rounding out our top 5. Back to Denver in a moment. Give you a chance to enjoy more of the spectacular scenery just outside of Denver, Colorado. We are inside McNichols Arena for the 1997 U.S. Gymnastics Championships, highlighting some more of our individual event champions from round 1. On the floor exercise, Lindsay Wing out of Cypress, Texas, the 15-year-old. Holds a 4.0 GPA in school. Always amazed they have the time to train and to continue their studies.
Lindsay is a very clean gymnast. She is having an outstanding year this year. This is her first go at the senior division. She was a leader in the junior division earlier this year. She opens with a double front. Very difficult to land because it is a blind skill. And you see that skill cushion there. It is not a deduction to have that skill cushion there, though it does upset some coaches because it blocks the boundaries of the out-of-bounds line. And some people think it's unfair, but needless to say, it is no deduction for the gymnast. A 2.5 twist punch front. The difficulty with the new rules is that each event has special requirements that the gymnasts must fulfill in order to start with a base score, and the base score is only a 9.0, so these gymnasts have to perform extra bonus of 1 full point to have the routine be worth a 10.0, and Lindsay actually has full difficulty on this event.
Lindsay won the U.S. Classic in Seattle earlier this year, first in the all-around.
And she finishes with a triple full. I think she might get credit for that. It looks like she got it all the way around. Really a terrific routine.
Very nice. Thousands of fans have shown up here inside McNichols to enjoy some of the best gymnasts in the world.
All right, Lindsay, good job.
Take another look at one of her tumbling passes here. She's known for being very clean. This is her first tumbling pass, a double front. Whenever you're rotating forward, it's so tough to land because it's a completely blind skill, and she landed that extremely well. This is her final tumbling pass, a triple full. It's an E move, which is the most difficult skill you can do. Actually, it doesn't look like she got it all the way around. It won't be a deduction, but she may only be rendered a D skill instead of an E skill. What a score.
9.7. She has won it in round 1. Congratulations all around for a very out-of-breath Lindsay Wing.
I'll tell you, under these rules, you will not see many 9.7s.
Moceanu, a name from the Olympics in 1996 in second. Kristen Maloney, third. But for Moceanu, even though she had a pretty good finish on the floor, it was a rather disappointing round 1 for her. Things for the gutsy veteran not going well, making some costly mistakes. The first one we saw was on the beam.
An event where she is world class, but this is a really simple mistake. You'll see her foot slips, and that's basically a result of not doing a lot of repetition. She hasn't had much intensive training since the Olympic Games. She's been busy on the post-Olympic tour. Bella Caroli retired as a coach. She was training in Boston. Her father just built her a new gym, so finally she has a place to train in Houston.
We see one good release move, but then this on the bars.
Again, this is something that we won't see again from Dominique Moceanu. It's just that she hasn't had much time to reconstruct her routines under the new rules, and it's evident in her scores.
The 8.7, the 8.25, certainly scores she is not used to seeing when it comes to final round action. For Dominique Moceanu, a pretty big uphill struggle right now. She's looking to make that 97 World Championship team. Atler the leader, Kristy Powell second, Maloney third, and Moceanu way down at 12th.